What's up, Meisterville? Welcome to episode 9 of the Creative Podcast. I am here with Mr. Clutch Boy Wonder. How are you doing, fam? How are you doing? How's
Yes,
things, bro?
yes, sir.
How
I'm
you
good,
feeling,
man.
man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, bro.
I've been
I'm
excited
good,
to have you,
man. I
man.
appreciate you having me, man.
Excited
Yeah,
to have
yeah. Like, I just been hit. Yeah, I'm out here working, man. Like, I'm glad I ran into your platform or whatnot. You got your shout outs all the way to Africa. Fair from New York, Africa. Share the same color, blood brothers. At the end of the day, not me. And it's just like it was amazing when I found you, bro. It just it's like, damn, this culture goes so far. This shit has no boundaries, man. This shit that we live, eat, breathe, and sleep, man. This shit is fire, bro. I'm here for this culture now. Thank you for having me, bro. For real.
Not man. Well, thank you because you were like kind of the one that I wanted to get you originally, but I was like, all right, maybe I gotta build up my platform a little bit. And then you hit me up on the comment, and I was like, yo, is he for real? And then I was just like, all right, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. Opportunity waits for nobody.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Nah, that's a fact, yo. When luck operate, I'm bugging. Luck is when opportunity meets preparation, something like that.
yeah.
Anyway.
We were trying to be clever, but y'all know what we mean. Y'all know what we saying.
Yeah, right.
That's like
Oh
my mom
man.
when she's calling my name. She always does that. Like she'd be like, get the what's your name, boy?
Yeah, yo, all the time. My aunt, she was taking care of me growing up and stuff like that. So she had like 3 other kids. She'll get through all 3 of the other kids like, Mel, Alicia, somebody, Shamel, get your ass over here type shit.
Hey, well, I mean
Oh man, that's funny.
that's how we know y'all are from here because like a lot of the stuff I see, I'm like, man, my mom does that as well. She's terrible with names. Like we were going to the movies and she's like, what's the Spider-Man Batman movie? The Batman Spider-Man.
Oh my god. Classic. Oh my god. Mixing up the universes and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the time, all the time. She doesn't know any of this
All the
stuff. She only
time, man.
knows it because of me, because I'm such a huge geek that way. Anyways,
Nah,
I got
facts,
some,
man. Same
yeah,
here.
I got some questions for you, Matt. So I already see the Batman in the
Okay,
background,
here.
the Bat chair. So I gotta find out, where does
I
Clutch
mean,
Boy Wonder come from? Where does Clutch Boy Wonder come from?
oh boy, that's a great. Oh man, that's a great question, bro. That's a great question. Well, it's kind of like two names in one. So I got no problem breaking that down. Clutch Boy Wonder. Clutch was originally like the name that I ran with in high school. I used to play a lot of Xbox and online and stuff like that. So I used to go by General Clutch, and you know, I was always fascinated like in sports and stuff like that, and like momentum and like the last second and being the guy to trust at the end when all chips fail. Um and I used to play like that a lot in my video games. So like that's how I named myself Clutch. Last second. I might not do shit the first 3 quarters, but that fourth quarter when you need that last shot to win the game, your boy is here. I'm shooting that shit with conviction. I don't care where I'm from. You know what I mean?
All
And
right.
Boy Wonder is like obviously the Boy Wonders. That's a legacy and a mythos within itself for the Bat family. I'm a huge Bat family geek. Like I grew up on Marvel as a kid, but when I got to college, I want to say when I was 18, I got to college, I really got into the Batman mythos. That's why I went from like a Marvel fanboy to a DC fanboy. That's when my transformation happened. And I got really attached to the Batman mythos because this is when I was starting to do music at the time too. I wasn't taking it seriously at first, but the Batman mythos of his Robins. Like I love Batman and I relate to him because of the trauma relatability. We could probably get into that when we do some music part, but I'm so fascinated with the character itself because the obstacles he had to go through from from the moment his parents died. And you see the reoccurring theme with the Robins, but what I love about the Robins is that they deal with trauma in their own way. Not to say what's right, what's wrong in life, but let's take Dick Grayson for example. Dick Grayson, first Robin, first Boy Wonder. His parents died too, in front of his face. And the way Dick Grayson handled it versus Bruce Wayne is completely different. Like, they're two sides of the same coin. But it's just that, you know, Dick Grayson is more of a likable character. He's more sure himself or whatnot. And he doesn't have the same trauma driving him to do what he does. Batman is still that kid in the alley. And that's why he does what he does. Again, who's to say it's right or wrong? But that's when I got excited and more into the Boy Wonder mythos, because then, you know, you got Jason, you got Tim, you got Damien, you got Carrie, you got Stephanie Brown.
Can we also just say, DC, can y'all stop disrespecting Tim Drake? I'm tired of this disrespect
Oh
to Tim
my
Drake.
God.
Stop it.
Yo, the detective?
Stop it. Stop it.
Yo, they
DC,
like, let me say, yeah, man. Like, oh my God.
I am so mad. Like, he had one of the coldest comic book outros when he was Red Robin. That series was heat, man. That comic book series was fire. I loved it so much. And now they just, I don't know what they're doing with Tim Drake. Like, y'all need to.
Nah, yeah. It's funny that you bring up Tim too, because I was actually having a conversation with one of my fellow, you know, nerdcore rappers, Hieroglyphics. That guy, if you ever get a chance, get your hands on him for an interview. That nigga right there. You want to talk? You think I'm a comic book geek? Oh man, this boy's the technical genius.
Okay. Okay.
But nah, I was having a conversation with him about Tim. Like, you know, Tim is like very slept on in regards, one, especially his fighting. Everybody knows he's the, you know, the second greatest detective. You know, Batman gives him his flowers. Lady Shiva gives him his flowers. You know, even Ra's al Ghul gives him his flowers about, you know, he's like, yo, look, man, you close to the Batman when it comes to this brain work. But his fighting ability in terms of the bow staff, like, it's been stated that Lady Shiva has regarded Tim as one of the best bow staff users in the DC universe. To come from Lady Shiva, the person who gives Batman the fucking work, that's a statement. That's like, you know, you got to hold on to that. So it's just like, you're right, man. Tim is like really underrated. Everybody's about Jason and Damien, and I love them.
Okay, but hey, also Damien kind of gets on my nerves a little. He's been better recently, but there's been some
better,
movies.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some movies. Sorry, like I got into your whole mythos. Actually, let's get back to that. Let's get back into your origin, and then actually after we cover your origin, we can start talking about yeah, we can
break down the Batman.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah, because we'll be here all day with that shit.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah. So, like, you know, I got fascinated with the Robin mythos, and I wanted to become a Robin. And I noticed, I'm like, yo, ain't no Black Robin in sight. It's my chance. Like, so, like, you know what I mean? So, like, when I got to college, I was already majoring in a couple things that's in the creative arts field. Long story short, I ended up doing animation as my, like, you know, my major. And I'm really, really glad that I did, because it was able to help me jumpstart my series of me being Robin, which is actually a 7-episode series that I'm working on called Birth of a Hero. It doesn't take place in Gotham. It takes place in New York. And basically it's a reason why Batman sends all 4 of his Robins, Dick, Jason, Tim, and Damien, to go handle a mission in New York, because, you know, Justice League is short and stuff like that. And then you get into my origin story of becoming Robin, you know, the Boy Wonder, the 6th Robin in this storyline, because Stephanie's going to be a Robin too. But that's what made me decide I wanted to be a Robin, because I felt so much into it that I wanted, like, I love Dick Grayson is my favorite Robin, but I, like, even when I cosplay, I wanted to be myself. I wanted to be my version. I wanted to tell my story of being a Robin, the trials and tribulations that I had to go through as a young African-American growing up in New York City. Like, I thought the perspective of that would be so fucking dope. So here I am, still at 26 doing this shit.
Hey man, hey, we never grow up. Hey, we stay kids forever.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna be 70 cosplaying out here. I don't care.
Oh, they don't know. I'm about to get my little brother into it. Oh man, I'm planting the seeds with him already. He don't know.
Like, I'm checking the background there. The background is really, really slick, man. I'm liking all of the references. I see like a I don't know if I'm getting this right, but I see like one of the Batmans in there. I see like a Hulk maybe or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I,
Like, so I appreciate it, man. So yeah, what I real quick, what I got on the back of me is I got a half side of Marvel comics,
yeah.
and DC comics that I collected over the years. You know, I more Batman than most, but you know, I got Batman, Justice League, Forever Evil, New 52, Rebirth. Like, I mix them all. I've been collecting comics since I was probably, I want to say 19, 26 now. This shit I ain't even hang up on the wall yet. Like,
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm getting more into indie stuff because sometimes, like, definitely with the disrespected characters that I grew up with, that's been
mhm.
annoying. I also feel like Marvel and DC don't do well enough in the diversity department. Like, they've got characters that they just don't
Yeah,
use. Like, I
yeah,
mean, like sometimes it's like they want to say, no, we have to create characters. That's way too much. And I'm just like, y'all got people to use, like
bro.
Bronze
Yeah,
Tiger.
Bronze Tiger. Oh my god. I was just I was talking about that with this guy also. Like, Bronze, and there's a whole bunch of, you know what? I have a theory on this. It's funny.
Yeah,
I have a theory.
yeah,
Um, DC bought Milestone Comics, right? God
yeah.
knows when.
I
Milestone
think it
has
was 2000. It was around about the time when Dwayne was passing. I think no.
okay.
It was before then. It was before then because I remember that they had an issue where they had Virgil was kissing his girlfriend on the cover, and DC was
I
not
think I
wanting
know
to
what you're
sell
talking
the
about.
cover. DC was not wanting to sell
Yeah,
the cover, and then they had an issue of a Power Girl where she literally had her whole fat booty on the on the cover, and Dwayne was
yo,
mad. Yeah, I think that's around the time that happened. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you were saying.
yeah, yeah. So like, they bought Milestone Comics, you know, a comic company that's, you know, smaller and that's full of diverse characters and have some heavy hitters. Now, some of these heavy hitters has been cameoed in a lot of these series. Young Justice, Static, you know, Static Shock
Yeah.
had his own show and stuff like that. 2 seasons, it was great, loved it, but
Oh
it's
no,
just
that
like
was four.
every
I
now and
think
then
that
it
was
was
four, wasn't it? Yeah, it
four.
was
It was
four.
four. It
Four.
was four. You're
Yeah.
right. It was four. Excuse me. I forgot what I was just thinking about. That was
Uh.
like 2 seasons.
Well.
Um, but not, but not like, like basically, my theory goes to is that a lot of the Milestone characters are really OP. Like, in my opinion, Icon will beat the shit out of Superman, and it's just like, so
Are
it's
you
just,
in a bunker
you know,
somewhere? Are you safe, sir? Like,
yo,
like
right, like,
come
yo,
on, man,
fanboys, I gotta hide, like, you know what I mean? You know, but it's true, like, and like, I don't think they explored Static as much as they could or would. And it's just like, it seems like when these issues run, they don't run as long or they just get cameos. And I'm just like, I just think DC is afraid to completely implement them into their stories all the time, because it's just gonna just show how much of these Milestone characters would shit on a couple of these DC characters. Like, from a power scale perspective,
No, but
it's kind of insane.
DC can't be worried about that now. Like maybe it's true, but I mean they've made Superman do some of the most ridiculous. Superman punched the god out of Lex Luthor. How do you do that? Lex Luthor had a whole godly being in him, and Superman was just like two piece, and the
That
god.
and that's yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And it's just like, and I don't want to make it a black and white thing. I don't, but
I
it's
think it
just
is.
like, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying, because it's just like you said, what
I'm sorry.
Superman did.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like,
I think it is. Like I
yeah,
love.
because I love them. I love DC, but it's just like, when it comes to these color characters, man, they they put a suppression button on these niggas like a
Oh,
lot.
dude, people disappear, bro. Like, what wasn't he there? What happened to him?
Yeah, it's
like,
like you
like, tell
barely
me,
get these people.
tell me, were you surprised when Black Lightning got a show? I didn't think that was gonna happen.
I
How the
was
hell
surprised. I
did
was
that
happy.
happen? I was like, wait, this when? Who?
But again, see, and this is it goes with my theory. You ready?
Yeah,
When they first, because I for the record, I love the CW shows. Like,
yeah.
I go back so many times to go watch it. Like, I went back to Arrow.
I can't
Like,
do Green Arrow though. Sorry, I can't do Green
what?
Arrow. Nah,
I
man.
look, season 1 through 3 was hard. 4 and up got too cookie cutter, and I understand, but like I just like Arrow because it started a universe for the DC TV show, like because it brought a lot of C-list characters to light. Like,
All right, like I get it.
Nobody was really chatting about Flash until
past
6 years. You know what I mean? And Flash has always been OP. I know that. You know that. The culture know that, but the general public don't know that.
Yeah. No, but anyway, you were saying back to your theory because I'm interested in your theory.
I just think because Black Lightning is another example because when Black Lightning came out, I'm like, oh shit, it's fucking over, man. Now we got Arrow, we got Flash, we got Legends of Tomorrow. So I'm waiting for the crossover. My fucking fanboy ass somewhere sitting in the corner with a blunt, like, oh man, yo, this nigga Jefferson's about to be lit right now. They said, oh, he in a different world, different universe and stuff like that. And it's just like they implemented him later on during the crisis, which I didn't get to. But do you see,
they did do that. That was weird.
They segregated him.
That was I forgot about this. Oh my god.
I ain't forget shit. Like, yo, like when they first fucking introduced the first season and even the second season, he's in his own universe somewhere. He's not. It has nothing to do with Flash.
I forgot about that.
I wasn't fucking with that, man.
That was foul. It's
a pattern. It's a pattern with these niggas. Look at what they do, and they do it with milestone characters too. When it comes to animations, when it comes to Young Justice, when it comes to like, even Justice League, the old ones and stuff like that. Like, I was surprised that they had Jon Stewart. Like, and he's the fan favorite. And like how who? like it's bruh, John, so it's just
like somebody's gonna Mortal Kombat you in that room there. You gotta be careful. somebody somewhere is like Clutch Boy Wonder said, what? Let me get my mask and let me get my gear. I'm
just saying, man. I just see shit and I'm just like,
I totally agree with you. But anyway, back to Clutch Boy Wonder for a second. Like,
man.
I just wanted to know what got you on the path of music and rapping and all of that stuff. Like, what was that moment for you where you were like, all right, I'm gonna be an MC. I'm a blend my nerd culture and my love for hip hop together to create this really amazing character. Because I even like when I saw it, I first didn't think Batman actually. Like, I don't know if that's like a little bit of a shocker to you. Only when I started seeing the R symbol and all of that stuff. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this could be its whole entire thing on its own. Even if it's like it could be like, even if it was a story by some kid who read Batman comics and kind of got inspired by them to be a superhero in his own city or something like that. So I just wanted to know what was the journey from going from there with the music and all of that stuff? What made you pick up the mic with this character?
Okay, so in order for me to tell that, I'll say how I got into music first.
Yes,
and then I can translate. I got into music. Actually, I'm a late bloomer with it, I would say, but I've always been a writer. And what I mean by that is, okay, I've been writing poetry since I was like in 5th or 6th grade. No, 6th grade. Yeah, I've been writing since 6th grade. Poetry, and the reason I wrote poetry was because of the conditions I grew up in. Like, God bless my family. I love my family, and they understand, when I talk like this all the time. But we didn't come from the most high income family. We didn't come from like the most capable family in so many different ways. But what we always we had each other. But there was things that went on in my family. I'm talking about I had uncles in prison that was locked up, that I'm just starting to meet now. A lot of my families had kids at, the early age and shit like that. And so my mom didn't take care of me, like, and my aunt took care of me most of my life. And so like, cause I'm technically the only child, and it was hard for me to express myself, because there was a stigma in the household that you needed to be like a certain type of masculinity, like not in terms of showing feelings, and like you're not really supposed to show feelings and stuff like that. And like, you know, there's times where I would like get in my feelings and cry a lot because like, yeah, I was with my aunt. I'm appreciative of her and stuff like that. But I wanted to live with my mom. Like that's all I knew at the time. I was like 6 years old when that first happened. And, you know, every day my aunt was like, I mean, my mom, no disrespect to her, I love her so much, but she knows, like, my mom was the, like, you know, the crackhead of the block, bro. Like, yo, niggas made fun of me because my mom was like such a drug addict, and I couldn't cry. It was like, yo, you with me now, kind of. So I just eventually, once I got into like, you know, gaming and stuff like that, you know, to distract myself from the cartoon and distract myself, I would write. I would write in books. I would write poems, you know, things about my mom, things about my aunt, how I was feeling, how I was living. And it was never, you know, to put them together in like any nerd culture where I literally took a pen and paper and wrote how I felt in any kind of way. And so one day, you know, we was in middle school, and we had my English teacher first was like, you know, we first got introduced in poetry, and I didn't even know I was writing poetry at the time. So he said, pull out, you know, write something. So I wrote something. I set it up loud, and it was things that, you know, I guess that shocked them. And they took me out to the hallway and they said, did you write this? And I said, yeah. And so they called my aunt, and they was like, you know, is your kid okay? And she was like, yeah, why you ask? She said, we just asked to write poems, and he wrote something that's really like, you know, personal, and we just want to know if this is okay with you. So, you know, she came down to school and they had a conversation, and then one thing led into another. Then they wanted me to be a judge for these other poets and contests and stuff like that for people that was in high school and down.
Hey.
So it was crazy. I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. I just wrote my feelings on a pen and paper. And they asked me, do you want to, you know, hear other poetry and give them numbers and stuff like that? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, because they was like, yo, we'll give you McDonald's and put you in a cab and stuff like do that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the McDonald's. So that's what happened. You know, I was right. I wrote a lot. So, and I guess that's where my unorthodox flow came from. So when I was like, when I got into college, then, you know, fast forward my college, you know, I was talking about, I mean, I went through a crazy breakup, you know, it was real bad. I only had like, you know, 2 partners in my life. This was my first partner. And basically I had just graduated high school, going to college, and, you know, she had a senior in high school, and I couldn't take the breakup. I really couldn't. It was really bad. Like emotionally, internally, I was like, fuck. So I ended up like, you know, listening to one of my favorite rappers at the time. His name was D Pride, and he had this one crazy breakup song, and I did a cover with it. Wasn't really good. And then my brother recorded me, like my older brother. And that's who I call. Like, that's my aunt's kid, but like that's who I call as my older brother.
I hear you.
Yeah, so, you know, he did the recording, stuff like that for me. And then once I was done with it, I was crying. Like, I was really crying. I put the video together. I still got this video today. It was a terrible music video, but I was crying because I was able to get something out, and I was able to express it. And once I was able to do that, I just started writing more, man. I just started to write and write more. I didn't even write to beats at first, and that's why I guess it's so unorthodox, because I would hear a beat once, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna write to it, and I'd be done writing to it, and I didn't care about being on beat, anything like that. It was more of I needed you to hear what the fuck I had to say, because once I started to do that, I noticed that certain, like, people were gravitating towards me. It was like, yo, look, that shit was fire, or, you know, you're like, you rapping too fast or whatnot, but what you saying is like, I could get past all that. That shit is crazy. Like, you know, keep your head out. But I was inspiring certain people, like, you know, people say they was going through this, they was going through that. And it was like, to hear the shit that you say about your mom is crazy. You kind of remind me of this person, remind me of that person. So I'd say in my after I did my first real song called Modern Segregation, it was to J. Cole's Let Nas Down song. And
Great song, by the way.
that
But yeah.
love that song. Love J. Cole. He's part of the reason why I really do rap at the end of the day. I came up with a verse that I'll never forget. And I'm gonna say it right now. And it's just that it even fits this time because it's true. And then because I realized it's more than about myself. It's more than about what I'm feeling. Like once I started rapping, I realized my words had power to it. Like, you know, people would listen and like actually gravitate for it. Like the verse I said, it was Black people projected as evil and lethal while the Spanish think they better than their own people. Wish these Asians to make these false accusations about our lack of education. It's not our fault these Caucasians put us in this fucked up situation. See, like that line, bro, like it still fits today, bro. Like, cause I get like today, I get misconstrued, you know, cause the way I talk sometimes and whatnot, and they just don't think I'm about this geek life or whatever the case may be. And it's just like, it's the stigma of me just having a certain skin color. You already perceive me in certain ways. So it's just like, once I was able, that came out of me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is, I was meant for this. I was like, that's when the road to Hokage began. Like, that's when, like, you know, I feel like my journey began. I didn't find out I was a nerdcore rapper until like 6 months ago, to be honest. Like, I wrote, like, I wrote from my soul. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Long-winded, but that's
Man, that's what this podcast is for, man. Like, yeah, the whole thing to go through your journey and every stuff, man. That's really powerful stuff, man. And I can definitely see parallels over here and everything, because I know a couple of people who have a couple of situations that are not so great, but they use music as a tool, man. And they use this nerdcore life as a tool as well, man. And
it is. I tell people all the time, it saved my life.
Yeah, and I can definitely relate to that whole thing of being perceived a certain way. Like, what a lot of people don't really get, and it's very baffling to me sometimes, is that we kind of go through the same stuff like everywhere. Like, I can point to certain situations in South Africa right now where stuff is like still that way, and like, you know, still being perceived as lesser than, and still being perceived as less educated,
right.
all of that stuff because of how you look. Like, there's nothing else about it. I've been through situations like that personally myself. Lost jobs because of my name and all of that stuff. Like, my real name. It's happened. It's happened.
Yes, like, yeah, that shit is whack, man.
That's why for me, I don't have time for like the nuance. Like, black is black is black is black to me. Like,
facts.
Can we sort all of this stuff out before we get into the details? Like, African American, I don't look at that stuff because they don't look at that stuff. So
yeah, and to be honest, like, I'm gonna grab this real quick. It was this. I was watching a couple years ago. I don't define myself as, oh, I'm African American. Yeah, I was born here, but I say this: I'm an unidentified African American. And I got that line from, and that resonated with me from when I was watching Arrow. Vixen had a crossover. This is when she had her first crossover. And then they did an animated thing to add some episodes, some like in between episodes. And I was watching it because I'm an animated geeked out. And Arrow, Vixen, and Barry were sitting across from each other. It was basically like, I don't know if you're ready for the superhero like kind of talk. And then one of the conversations came up that made, and I seen the face, like it made Arrow uncomfortable. She was like, yeah, I'm just living in Detroit trying to be the best I can. I'm an unidentified African American living here. And Barry and him looked at each other, and it was just like, like that. It's true, like, because it's hard for me to like. It's hard for me to define like what is to be an American here. Yeah, it may sound easy because I live here, but it's just like I'm into so many other cultures and other things that like I don't know my true roots. Like, that's been stripped away from me through history. That's what makes me unidentified.
Yeah, man. Nah, I mean, I can definitely. And for me, as a person living in Africa, yeah, like we getting into some heavy shit here. But anyway,
I'm here
but
for it.
yeah. But for me, as a person who's been on living on the continent of Africa, I mean, you can hear how I speak. A lot of people thought I was American at some stage, or what, still think I am. Whatever. Haven't been there yet. Wanting to go one day, but grew up on American TV and everything. So I guess that's where this comes from. But yeah, like my parents, this is no shade to them. I'm not apologizing for any of it because I mean my intelligence is my intelligence and all of that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, my parents made sure that I knew English before I could speak my home language because they were afraid that if I sounded a certain way, I was not going to be able to thrive economically. Like, so I can definitely relate to being like roots taken away from me, but simply because it was something that would have looked at as something that would have hindered me instead of helped me. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then it's crazy because there'll be people in my community who look at me a certain way because I speak of a certain way, and they'd be like, "Oh, he thinks he's this and this and that and that," and it's like, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not that way. I promise you."
Yes, it's just it's the misconception. Like people like think I'm this or that. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm just a geek at the end of the day. I
Yeah,
like
man. Like, but I mean, even not like I'm not. I don't think I'm better than you because I sound like this. I don't think I'm smarter
yeah,
than you because it's just the way I grew up. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way
yeah,
I am. I'm not looking down on anybody, or I'm not thinking I'm better than anybody or smarter than anybody. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of the. And we'll get off this topic because we're gonna get to the nicer stuff. but
yeah.
but I definitely feel like just as Black people across the world as a whole, we have too much of a gang mentality that we don't need right now. Like we have too much
Mm-hmm.
of a I'm this and he's that. And like for me, I'm not looking for a politician or a political party or some NGO or some I'm not looking for the UN to help us save us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for that.
Yes.
I'm looking for us to work together ourselves because we know the issues and we have the capacity to solve them ourselves. But that's what they
Yeah.
don't want because there's that whole saying that when Africa sorts itself out, that's when the world ends. No, that's when the world y'all have set up ends. Like you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's what that because
Mm.
y'all still make money over here. Y'all still pillage over here. Like there's this whole
They
thing.
pillage everywhere, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like the new iPhone stuff. There's this place in the Congo where they're stealing like resources from the locals, and the locals are trying to reach out for help, and nobody's talking about it. And they're not even
Wow.
compensating the locals, or they're just taking the minerals like they did before. You think this stuff was old? It's still happening right now on the continent. So I'm definitely for interconnecting Pan Africanism, us getting together to sort out our issues, and definitely connecting through something like nerd culture, which we've seen makes a
Yes.
billion Brazilian. It makes money. Like let's not
It's an
even.
untapped. Yes, I still feel like it's an untapped market, bro. Like because believe it or not, it's just like it's catching on. Like don't get me wrong, it's on. But I just feel like there's so many of us that do so many different things that relate to this culture that it's like it's ridiculous. You have cosplay, you have nerdcore rap, you have Twitch streaming for video games. You got Black Nerd Media. Like it's insane. Like and it's just like it's true. It's like whatever Black people touch, man. We put the sauce on it. Like we just put the sauce on it. Like we really do, bro. Like because it's not like if nerd culture has been around and stuff like that for a while. Like let's take anime for example. Like anime is dope. This shit is dope. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Why you make classics when you add a little bit of black to it, like Samurai Champloo. It's going down as one of the best animes at all time. Like it's still being sampled to this day. Shout out to my boy Crazy 8 the Great and that cosplay angel shit. Like, and that the reason it survived so long is because of the music. The music is that's us. Like, and it's just so dope, man. Like the fact that we can just put our touch on things and make it dope to our will however we want, man. I really do appreciate this culture that I've been diving into as if the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I feel like I didn't know what the name was for it, but I've been in it like in my
That's what
entire
I mean.
life,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
My entire life I'm shit.
Yeah, my first comic book, I think I was 8 years old, and that's what I've been reading comic books for since I was 8. Yeah, hadn't been collecting
Mhm.
like consistently because sometimes you can't, sometimes you don't got the cash, whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I've been reading comic books since I was 8 years old, and it's definitely it definitely like it dawned to me that this is something that we should be in because we are a creative peoples and all of that stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
hip hop has roots to ancient African civilizations with drums and
Mhm.
everything, and so I'm just like, yeah, man, it's so dope to see it expand like that, and I really want to expand this whole platform to the entire diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get
Yeah.
nerds from Jamaica. I want to get nerds from Haiti. I want to get everywhere, bro. I'm
Yeah.
aiming for everywhere, man.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, that's why I had to, I'm glad I reached out, man. Like, because when I appreciate it, the first way, you really treated me like, oh, it's Clutch Boy One. Nah, man, it's just like, let me tell you something, bro. For real, I don't give a fuck about numbers. I don't care about analytics. At the end of the day, I do it in the backgrounds because you got to see what works, what
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
work,
yeah.
and things like that. But when it comes to somebody that's for the culture and that's doing like this, because what I think you're doing is selfless, and that's why I love Black Nerd Media so much, bro. Like I had to put a stamp on what this shit is because sometimes we'll be doing some shit and we don't know what the fuck we're doing, and sometimes it's so great, but what I feel like you doing, like you nerds in hip hop, gadgets and geekery, like all the Fantastic Frankie, a bunch of these people is like, yo, y'all Black Nerd Media, and what I think y'all do is so selfless, man. Like what I think you do personally is so selfless because you know you want to have other people on the platform that you worked hard to put on, and you want to talk to people, you want to get to know them, do research and stuff like that. Like that's not an easy feat. Like journalism in any way, shape, or form to me is selfless because it's like it's not about you. It's about the culture that you love. And I just think it's a beautiful thing.
I just thought I was a good Googler, but okay, I'll take it. Shit.
Nah, but yeah, man. Like,
All right, man.
I
So, oh, another thing I gotta ask, man. I'm
what's
talking
up?
favorite rappers, like not top five of
Woo.
anything, not like just if you can think of five off of the top of your head that are like, yo, these are the dudes that when I want to write, I reference them a lot because for me personally, I got five. I think first off, I think MF Doom because I love MF Doom. The villain dude that he's my goat rapper of all time. Actually, like if you ever had to point a gun to my head and say name your best rapper ever, it's gonna be him. Like that is the villain Victor Vaughn, amazing. But anyway, second guy is Rakim. I always
Okay.
reference Rakim when I write as well because I love the way he rhymes and stuff like that. Third is gotta be Lupe Fiasco because Lupe
Oof.
Fiasco is just like to me that kick push. Oh my god! Like I think that was my first hip hop song. Like that was my first
I
hip
ain't
hop
gonna
song.
lie, my shit from Lupe was definitely like that out your food and liquor.
Oh my god! I still listen to
Oh
that
my
today, man.
lord.
Did you check his
Yeah,
new? Did
man.
you check his new EP House? Have you checked his new EP House?
You know,
Like
I heard a couple songs. I didn't hear the whole thing. I ain't gonna lie. I got up to like dinosaurs, I think,
yeah,
and I was kind of confused. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come
yeah.
back to you, Lupe. And I just never got back. So like you reminded me of that because I
Yeah.
got a bunch of shit on my
Nah,
playlist. So
nah,
I'm gonna
nah,
definitely
man.
play
Lupe,
that.
Lupe, it feels like it's an exam, bro. Lupe, like everyone else, you just listen to like, yeah, Lupe, you hear with like you signed like carrying the one and
Yeah.
it's like Empress.
Yeah, like yo, you gotta be on some shit. You gotta
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
pen and paper out in
yo.
the dark, like ready to go. Like, all right, what is he doing?
Like you in like you in the lab, bro, with Lupe. It's insane. But yeah, he's still
For real.
my favorite. And then I gotta shout out Eminem because thanks to him,
Mm.
that's how I learned how to freestyle. Like Eminem style it allowed me to actually go off the top of the dome and everything. Really, really big shout outs. And then I don't know if this counts because I can't, but Wu-Tang Clan, like the entire Wu
Yeah. The whole Wu-Tang can't choose. Fuck that, all of them. International.
Wu Tang Clan was just that also just it blew my mind. 36 chambers. Oh, I still bump that to this day. I still
I
just
ain't gonna lie, my roommate be bumping Wu-Tang every time he get a chance. I swear to God, like, but yeah, shout out to my boy Kevin Rosario Art. Like, yo, he's like you. He's into the like the old school. You know what I mean? Like, it gotta respect it.
yeah,
Gotta
man.
respect it because these niggas is
I do.
rapping.
Yeah, I do love new artists and stuff, and I don't have that whole old head mentality where it's like
Oh
if you're
nah,
not
yeah,
spitting a 36, you know, if you're not spitting a 42, then it's not hip hop, or if you're not
yeah,
rhyming this with that,
yeah,
it's not hip hop. No, it is hip hop. It's just hip hop you don't like. Like that.
yeah, exactly.
Let's just you know. I can personally say I ain't into Lil Pump. I ain't into Tekashi 6 9 because
Nah, I
those
ain't into
dudes,
that
they
shit.
just sound like
Look,
they're
yeah.
yelling in your ear at some stage, or they
And
just
they milking the game. They milking it. They not
not
here.
definitely.
They
But
not
I
hip
think
hop.
not because it's the music. I think it's because of the antics that they're milking the game. Like the music, if you make that music, that's cool. But if you're
Yeah,
always pulling antics to pull antics, that's when I feel like you're milking the culture too much, in my personal opinion.
yeah,
Because now you're not making music. Now you making Instagram posts about whose hood you were in. And it's like that. None of that matters. None of that
agreed,
matters. Like
agreed.
Takashi 6 9 made me so mad because I was like, you did not need to be in a gang. You really did not need to be anywhere near
Like,
gang related stuff. Like you could have just been
yeah,
rainbow hair troll and you would have still made the same money that you made. But anyway,
yeah.
we're getting
Then
off.
that's a fact. Like I agree. Like I agree with every sentence you just said. It's just like about the antics, man. I can't stand that.
Yeah,
But
man. Like the music, 50 whoop whoop in the cup and I'm the plug and all that. Well, that's future. That's probably old now. So I don't know who's out now. I mean, maybe it's the Migos and the Drop Top. But anyway, point being is like for
yeah,
me, if you're making that music, but you live in your life as a regular person because you can, please do that. Like if you in gang
yeah,
culture, be in it because you had to be. Don't
yeah,
join it to legitimize yourself.
yeah.
Because you ain't
It's a culture many people don't understand and misconstrued and
like
like I
I know
said,
I'm
like
a
me.
snitch. I know I'm a snitch. Like I know.
Yo, and yo, at the end of the day, it's like you got to live your truth. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's just like,
I know that I'm telling on
and
everybody if I'm going
it
to
is
jail.
not even being it's not even being a snitch. You a civilian. It's not like if you know you got loyalty tied to certain people. I get it, bro. Like
Yeah, like
I
that's why I
definitely
will
get
never
it.
be in gang culture ever. Like there is no gang that can ever entice because I will tell them straight up, oh, I'm telling on you guys. Like I'm telling the
Yeah.
police everything. But anyway,
Nah.
yeah. So your five rappers that are always floating in your head, if you got any.
All right, yeah. Five rappers that's always, floating in my head. J. Cole. I'm gonna start off with J. Cole because I want to say, he didn't get me into rapping. He got me into becoming a better rapper. Like, and he's my biggest inspiration from rapping. Like,
J. Cole
I've been listening
hard.
to,
J. Cole is
yeah, man.
hard.
Like,
One thing I'll always say, like, was this Kendrick fans, like Kendrick stands, let me say, because I'm a Kendrick fan. Kendrick stands
mm,
kind of annoy me with this,
mm,
where whenever Kendrick drops a song, he's like, this J. Cole ain't on the level of this. I'm like, first off, enjoy the video. Why are you bringing J. Cole's name into this in the comment section, bro? He was not,
yeah,
he was nowhere near this music video. And two,
yeah.
and like I hate when people do that. Like I saw that happen to J. Cole recently, where Lupe was when he did Drogas Wave, and then somebody in the
Mhm.
comment section was like, "J. Cole fans, this is what deep is." I said, "Bro, J. Cole fans had nothing to do with
Yo,
this
he was
album."
just
Yeah,
chilling at home, my man, taking
like
kids, fucking kid.
yeah,
And it's
but
just
I mean,
like, you got people in the comments.
As an MC myself, I put J. Cole and Kendrick at the same level. I know that's
Uh-huh.
probably blasphemy to somebody. Oh my god, but
Nah, like
they're the
they
same.
both great rappers. They got
Yeah,
great
like
rapping ability.
yeah, they got great rapping ability, and I've never heard Kendrick say anything that's outshined what J. Cole has said. In my personal opinion, I've never heard. So I still think that they are on the same level in that sense. And J. Cole is definitely a goat. He's earned the status. So yeah,
Yeah.
stop sleeping on Cole is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Not
and
that
like
people
I
are,
said,
but not that people are, but
I,
like yeah. It's a weird
There's
thing.
some people that like when it comes to this comparison. Look, if it's like, all right, if you're in a barbershop having this conversation and stuff like that, and if I'm gonna be completely objective, and I love Cole's before I get into my other four, I'll say this: Kendrick has more classics than Cole. Like if we're gonna we're gonna do like the championships and like that's how like compare like basketball rings and stuff like that. Kendrick definitely has more classics than Cole. But what I will also say is that when you hear these mainstream conversations and stuff like that, people always want to say that Cole has one classic. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're bugging. Like, I don't care. Like, then they say 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I'm like, look.
Friday Night Lights? Friday Night Lights?
There we go. Friday Night Lights. Fucking, what I just said. 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And Born Sinner. The reason I say Born Sinner is because that shit dropped when Yeezus dropped. And them numbers weren't too far from each other. See, I hate talking numbers. I hate being a numbers guy, but if we want to do numbers, like, he dropped when Kanye was in his prime. This young, on his first debut studio album, and did what he did. So it's just like, don't do that. It's just like, don't do that to Cole. And people like, yo, Friday Night Lights. Some people want to count it, not count it. But it's just like, it's like people forgot about Born Center. And it's just like, that shit was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like,
I love Born
like,
Center, man.
Let Nas Down. Fucking, what was this shit? Miss America.
Oh, yeah.
Born Center, the song. That Miss America song was crazy. Because that nigga was talking shit that, like, niggas don't want to hear. Like, you know, the government, the politics and all that, Aunt Sally, all that shit. Like, giving money to the church and all that. Like, Cole was speaking this shit. So it's just like, again, like, before I get crazy, 3 classics.
No, I'm getting like that's the other thing. Give rappers their due. Like, also, like, yeah, we're gonna get into your number 4, into your 4 rappers. Because we keep getting off topic.
It's crazy though. I fuck with it though.
But I mean, like, I don't know if you saw that whole thing with Lupe and Kendrick when they were talking about Lupe's being a better lyricist or whatever. And like, I spoke to Nerds of Hip Hop on it on the podcast over there when he was saying that it's in the eyes of the beholder, which I totally agree. But I also feel like in rap as an MC, I feel like there is a criteria that gets met, especially MC, not hip hop artists, because hip hop artists to me, thing. But if we're talking about grabbing a mic, having mic skills and all of that stuff, I feel like there is a certain criteria that makes you a GOAT MC, even if I don't rock with you. Even if I don't rock with you. Like, if I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna be a little bit blasphemous, but I don't listen to a lot of Styles P. Like, I'm not a huge Styles P fan. But if you told me he's a GOAT MC, I couldn't dispute you. I can't say no, because now what's my cry? I'm talking about what I like to listen to. That's not what makes a GOAT MC. If you got the skills, and you got the years, you are a GOAT MC to me. That's what I
skills, years, and accolades.
Yeah, that's what I say. But not even accolades, because accolades to me, like, Grammys don't really care about hip hop that way.
See, and because I hate sounding like this, because I don't listen to much mainstream as people may think. Like, I listen, I'm gonna get into that part because I got like 4, and then there's another 5 I'm gonna name. But go ahead.
Yeah, so okay.
No, my fault.
No, but anyway, I'm just saying that I feel like as an MC, even if I don't like you, I can respect your skill. And there's a lot of people,
of course.
And there's a lot of people who claim to be hip hop connoisseurs. They're not really. You're just a person with an opinion on YouTube or on the internet. That's all you really are. So stop, because like somebody had the gall to say, "What has Lupe done in the last 15 years?" Like, they legit said, as a hip hop connoisseur, I can't name the last classic thing Lupe has done in 15 years. I was like, so you haven't heard Mural, right? You haven't heard Mural, right? Like,
it's so many things wrong with that sentence. Like, because it's just like, first of all, you can be a GOAT and retire. So it's just like that don't make sense to me. It's just like, so you telling me you have to have done something as if recent to be considered the GOAT.
So Andre 3000
Rakim isn't. Yeah, Andre 3000 is not a GOAT. Rakim is not a GOAT. Like, come on, you say like, come on,
Yeah.
Skip.
Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, so yeah, like, but nah, yeah, to go to my we getting all over the place. But nah,
Yeah.
all right, so it'll be cold.
Yeah.
Damn, like it because I'm trying to do it in order. I like doing this shit in order. I'm not gonna lie. It's like if you're gonna ask me top five, I'm gonna give you top
Yeah.
five.
All right. Cool.
Cole is my number one.
All right.
My two, I always fight for this. And that's why I'm taking so long right now. It's always between it's always between Kendrick and Logic. Now, before people go crazy,
Because they're going to.
Logic gets a lot of flack.
Yeah, he does, man. He does.
And like, granted, like a lot of people can say that he probably took from Kendrick a bit, but I'm gonna tell people this: Logic has a classic under his belt, and
I would argue too.
Okay, see, I was thinking off the rip, The Incredible True Story.
Yeah,
like that shit took me through that. That carried me in college along with J. Cole shit, the warm up and all that shit that I was listening to. Like,
but I would say
I'm talking
also,
top
man.
to bottom.
Yeah.
Under pressure. Oh, I'm sorry. Yo, whoa! Almost forgot about Under Pressure. My fault. You know why? Because I listened to them. It went for me. I listened to Incredible True Story first, then I listened to Under Pressure.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it like I didn't go backwards like that. So them two, and like, because like I like Kendrick, and I think he's a dope rapper, and he's definitely a GOAT, and he's the big three. He's part of the big three. When people say, we all know who the big three is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I argue for Kendrick's spot personally because, and a lot of people don't do this. Like, and again, this is personal. Everybody has a personal bias. Like, Kendrick music hasn't impacted me the way Logic did, but Kendrick is definitely the better rapper, the better creator, and he has more classics. But I just believe Logic did more for me at the time I was going through. So that's why I hold Logic in a high regard when it comes to that, like, personally, like. So that's just me. But to get into
it's your opinion. Ain't nobody supposed to throw down the gauntlet. We're not supposed to be hearing that dude from Mortal Kombat fight
and stuff like
finish him.
For me, these gatekeepers sometimes and stuff like that. But so all right, so it'll be Logic and Kendrick, or Kendrick or Logic, however you want to put them, and then Young M.A. Young M.A. she's here for me.
Ooh.
Shorty can rap, like, for real. He can rap, like, and it's like, I think she makes good songs too. Like, and like I listened to, her mixtape was fire. I got introduced into a mixtape when she did Over Ether. When I heard Ether, when she did, because if you're gonna touch Ether, if you're gonna rap on Ether, your pen better be fucking outstanding to do, because of what its history and the legacy of it, and the Jay and Nas thing back at that time. It's just like, to touch that beat, like, your expectations already here. And the fact that you met my expectations, and like, maybe it's because it is because I'm younger and stuff like that. So I had to go back and listen to the original Ether and stuff like that. I just like Young M.A.'s version more than Nas's, and not disrespect to Nas. It's just that when I listen to that, I'm just like, who the fuck is this one? And they made me go through a whole catalog, and they like, I just fuck with her as a rapper. She's true to herself. She's from New York, a New York native. And I just think to me, and I hate to do this, I don't want to do this, but when people split MCs and stuff like that, to me, I think right now, she's the best female MC, and she's been the best female MC for, I would say, the past couple years. Like, Rhapsody, Nicki Minaj, Cardi, get it. Like, and I don't want to put Rhapsody and Nicki Minaj in it, but Young M.A., I personally think she would wrap circles around everybody I just mentioned.
Okay.
Like, she can rap. And my fifth is gonna be mad conceited, but it's definitely myself.
Hey, you should think the world of yourself, man. I definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I name people and all of that stuff, I definitely think I'm a monster of an MC. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. I think I'm a beast when it comes to
Yeah, like, and you gotta have that type of confidence, man. And I'm not just saying that to say that, but it's just like,
no,
you know, to get into a little,
especially in
yeah,
rap.
it's a blood sport. Like, this shit is a fucking, like, this shit is like competitive.
You'll get
like,
yeah. If you don't got the confidence. I used to battle in high school. If you don't got the confidence, bro.
Yeah, it's like, shit, I didn't even know you battled in high school. That's crazy. I wasn't battling yet, but I might get into it one day. But
I'm done with that stuff. Yo, it's a bit much. Like, I don't like talking about people, and that's like what battling is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I like
if you watch URL and Smack, they be bringing up people's dead grannies, like the disrespect.
I ain't gonna lie, I love watching that shit.
How do y'all not fight on stage? How do y'all not?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. It's crazy. I love them. I love all of them.
No, I love Smack. Like, I love Smack, and Loaded Lux is my favorite battler of all time or whatever. Like, he's my favorite battle rap person ever. Like, that thing he did on Funk Flex. Like, him and Black Thought, I can't even watch any other Funk Flex freestyles anymore because of what
they wild.
They wild out on that stuff, bro. I couldn't believe it. Like 7-10 minutes of just bars. I was like, what?
Yeah, shit is crazy. It's skill.
Yeah, but battle rap, that it is too much. Like, I gotta talk about your mom. I gotta talk like what
you gotta get personal.
What Pusha T did to Drake, bro. What Pusha T did to Drake, fam.
Ain't shit compared to what they do on your They look at that shit and laugh. Oh, that's all he said.
No, URL, bro. Yo, they are ruthless, man. Yeah,
for real.
They talk about people's dead homies. Like, if I was who killed, I was like, what, huh? How are y'all
not crazy?
How are y'all not throwing hands right now?
I think I love it, and I think it, as actually talking about it now, it's making me realize, like, I think I love it because of the passion and intensity that it has, because it's like how I rap. Like,
yeah.
It's you know what I mean? It's just like, yo, I'm going in, and he's like, you gonna get this. Like,
yeah.
You gonna give it back to me, but if you do, it better be better when I wrote, because if not, you're gonna get clowned at the end type shit. And I'm like, I live for that. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, definitely the style and everything of it, I love it. But it's just sometimes the content, I'm just like, yo, fam, his mom was chilling at home. She had nothing to do with this battle.
Nothing to do with this.
Now you talking about her breast cancer on stage? Chill.
For real. Nah, it's crazy though. But nah, yeah, man, with this, this rap shit, I really do. The reason, real quick, the reason I did name myself fifth, because I'm not saying like, look, I'm the best MC in the world or anything like that. But what I will say is this, that I've got to see myself personally firsthand go from a nigga who couldn't like rap on beat at all. Like, if you listen to First Day Back, I'm in and out pocket. And that's because that's a flow I perfected. But before, a nigga who couldn't rap on beat, who started off a cover song of somebody else shit because he was feeling some shit, to a person that's like putting metaphors and similes and messages the way I am today. It's just like, and also what I factor in that most people don't, and I get that as a rapper, it's just like, I pride myself on the mixing, the mastering, the engineering part of this shit. Like, I'm a DIY kind of guy. Like, I didn't have money for studio time. I couldn't get into a studio. People were like, "Oh, you from New York? You got mad opportunities. If you don't know nobody, you ain't got shit out here. This shit is like a doggy eat words, like eat or get eaten." So it's just like, bro, I've been using my financial aid in college since I got here to get every piece of equipment, comic, anything in my room at the time. I started off on a blue snowball microphone, recording from a USB, to getting the equipment that I have today. Not the high end, but enough to make songs and put out, I believe, quality content for the shit that I do today. So that part I pride myself on, because it's just like nobody helped me. And like there's many rappers out here, and there's no disrespect to them or anything like that, because if you know somebody, that's cool. They just write, go record, with they mans, and that's it. Like, and then they get the song mixed down and stuff like that. Now they might be there with the, the process and mix and say I want this and that, but nigga, I've been there alone them nights, like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. Ain't got nobody here for their opinion and stuff like that. So when I got to see the reaction that I got for First Day Back, and the shit that I was feeling and the things I spoke on from the beginning to the end, it's like, it solidified me as a person that I know. I say, yeah, I'm here to stay with this shit. Like, I understand my flow, my purpose, what I can do, what I can't do, what I'm working on. And it's just like, I got a different level of respect musically when I put that song out. That's dedicated to my big brother.
Nah, man, definitely. I would also. I'm gonna put a link in the description down below of this video so people can go check that out. I love the song a lot. I gave it a couple spins. It's really, really good. So yeah, man, go over to the SoundCloud Meisterville and just give Clutch some love. And if you want to comment, just let him know you came from the Creative Podcast. It'd be dope.
Yes, sir. The Creative Podcast from your boy Buckmeister, my boy.
Yeah. No, but I definitely, if you in this rap game, you have to think the world of yourself, because ain't nobody gonna think that for you. Like, you only get the accolades when people start thinking that, but if you don't believe it, like, I've always said, like, I've had songs where people go, that's whack, and I'm like, nah, I love it. I still love that song, so I'm still gonna put that out. I'm still, like, I had a song called No Sheep, which was a huge departure from my style, basically, because the whole song was about, do not become an ass kisser of mine. Don't kiss my ass. I hate ass kissers. Don't be honest with me. Be honest with me.
Transparency. That's all I ask for in my life too.
I don't like, because I think that's another big problem with culture nowadays, is everybody looking for a cult of personality, and they don't want to be honest with people anymore. So they just, they just take the biggest personality for whatever they say, even if they're not qualified in their position. So I'm definitely letting my fans know right now with that song, do not look at me as some sort of god. Do not look at me as like, I'm dope. I'm a dope human being. Like, I'm man, I'm still a human being. I don't like, if I get 1 million subscribers, that don't make me a doctor. That don't make me an accountant. All of that stuff. But yeah, a lot of people didn't rock with the song like that, the way I thought, but I still love the song. So I listen to myself. I'm a fan of myself also. Like, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of myself.
A lot of them spins. Like, I get it. And it's just like, that's how I felt for myself too. When I first came out with that mixtape, Birth of a Hero, like, he get remastered. It was recorded a bunch of old beats and things like that. And I noticed my wordplay, it got better. It was better. It was getting better over time and stuff like that. But there was like, the flow was still an issue. But there's certain songs I still go back to and listen to this day. Like, if I'm really in my feelings, I go to Knock the Hustle. Like, because what I did to that, the shit that I was like, the place that I was in that time when I wrote that song, it's like, bro, I don't even understand, like, sometimes how I'm here, and like, people were like, yo, Clutch, you got mad energy, this and that, and the smile I give them, because it's just like, the shit that I had to overcome in the places I was in. Like, I was like, when I wrote Not the Hustle, I was in college at the time. I was living with my mom. It's the first time me really getting experience to live with my mom. She had this issue where she would run the street a lot, and I had a problem with that because, you know, I'm still like, yeah, I'm in college, but I'm still like, you know, kid, like, you know, still like I'm in the crib. And yeah, I can take care of myself and stuff like that, but it's just like a lot of things that going on in the house. So one day, you know, we got into a real bad argument, and she ain't come home. She had walked out the door. She ain't come home for a minute. And one day I just walked in the room with her dog, because she got this dog that she loves. She take care of Brownie. And my mom's room was such a mess. And I just sat there in the dark. It was such a mess, bro. You wouldn't believe the way it looked. I'm talking about little crack bags everywhere. Crack empty bags, like the crack shit. Everywhere in the room. Now I could have went in my room and just chilled, but they everywhere. And I just sat there, bro. The news is on. House look a mess. And I'm listening to J. Cole's Knock the Hustle. I just broke down, started crying. I got the beat. The fastest I ever wrote a song. I wrote a song in 20 minutes. And I showed my friend what I wrote and recorded. He broke down crying, and he was just like, that was the first time. That was my running mate. That was my boy. Like, before I knew anybody in his coach or anything like that, we used to just do music together. We knew each other since high school. Shout out to my boy Def. But he broke down crying, and he was just like, yo, you're gonna make it. You are going to make it. Like, I ain't tell him what was happening. So, like, he just heard the song. He just started crying. And he was just like, yo, bro, it's just a blessing to be around you. And it like, bro, like, I'm choking up talking about it, because I remember that place I was in. Not the best quality track, but if you listen to that shit word for word, it was just like, yo, this nigga right here is talking some shit right now. Like, I'm talking about, like, the shit that I grew up, like, you know, for my mom, the transition to my aunt, you know, the shit that happens in the Black community out here that niggas really don't talk about. Like, niggas talk about that gang culture and stuff like that, and I love that. Like, I listen to a bunch of that shit. But, bro, like, I'm talking about what's going on in these households for real type shit. So that's why I like one of them songs. And another song that's similar to that is called Real Heroes Don't Die. That's when I seen my flow got better. That's when I seen my mixing got a little better. Same mic, a little better. That's when I seen the rapping ability got a bit better. And because of the respect level when I was putting out, it was just like niggas was listening. Like,
Nah,
and I'm just
it's dope songs,
grateful.
man. It's dope songs, man. I went through a lot of your catalog.
Appreciate it.
I rock with it. I rock a lot with it. All right, so let's switch some gears for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You on the road to becoming the Hokage, as you say.
Yes, sir. Road to Hokage.
Yeah, man. So I'm guessing you're a huge Naruto fan. I am too. One thing I found that was really cool, I don't know if it's true, but it might be, like, Killer B might be a reference to the Wu-Tang Clan.
Word.
I think so.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Because he raps, he's got this weird style of fighting, and he
got a book too, like
and he got 9, I think he got 9 blades. He might have 9 blades or something.
It's 9 and 7. One of them numbers. I think it's 9 though. It might be 9.
It might be 9 though. So if it's 9, then it is, because it's the RZA, Jizza, Inspector Deck, ODB, Method Man, Raekwon,
original, yeah.
Who am I? You God, Ghostface Killer.
Gizza?
I did say Jizza, I think. Jizza.
Oh yeah, my fault.
ODB, Method Man. I'm just trying to remember one of their songs because he names all of them, right? ODB. No, it's 8. Yeah, it's 8 members, right? Or is it 9? I think it's 8 members. Why am I forgetting my Wu-Tang Clan lore?
Oh my God.
This is gonna drive me crazy. All right. One more time. Okay.
It might be 8 swords because the 8 tails. I'm just making an assumption.
Yeah,
I'm making an assumption.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. So it's ODB. Well, anyway, that takes up the whole podcast of me calculating the Wu-Tang Clan members because I'm such a fan. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool. If that's like a coincidence, that's like one of the dopest. But if that's intentional, Masashi Kishimoto, bro, thank you, bro. Oh, like that would be so
That's some real
cool.
shit.
That would be so
For
cool.
real. That would be dope
Yeah,
as
man.
fuck, man.
So yeah, speaking of Naruto, man, I wanted to just talk
Okay.
about like your favorite. Like first, let's get into Naruto a little bit more because I'm also a huge Naruto fan. So with my
Yes.
my experience with Naruto was, I think it was the second anime after Dragon Ball Z that I finished, and
Okay.
yeah, and it's like it's legit the first, like I think it's the first anime that made me cry. Like I'm talking like cry like a baby, like when
Multiple
like
times.
for a villain, dude. Like when Zabuza like like
uh
that whole thing. I didn't
Not again.
I didn't expect myself to cry for a villain like that, man. And when Jiraiya died, bruh.
Yeah, yo. Oh my god. And you know what? You know, for the villain thing, you know what that is called, my friend? Compassion. Something
Yeah,
that many people in this world lack. So
yeah,
please keep
man.
that.
Yeah, man. Like I bawled for Zabuza when he was
Yo.
by Haku, and he it's like he started crying and I started crying, and I was like, I
Yeah.
hated this dude 2 episodes ago. What the hell is
Yeah.
happening here?
Yo, son. Yo, that's called good writing too. Like that shit
Yeah,
is
man.
good
Hey, it
writing.
was brilliant. So, what was your
Shit,
first
I cried.
experience?
Yeah.
What was your first
Oh
experience with
yeah.
Naruto?
I bet my first experience with Naruto was like, I again late bloomer when it comes to this. Like, I actually used to make fun of some of my friends, like who used to watch it in middle school, because I didn't start watching it until like I got to high school. And
Yeah.
bro, once I first started watching it, you want to talk about relating to a fucking character so hard. Like again, my persona is Rob and everything, but that's why when I always introduce myself, I'm like, yo, it's Clutch Boy Wonder, aka the seventh Hokage, because it's just like I feel like I'm that character, bro. Like from like beginning to end, and I'm still writing my story, I'm submitting it, but it's just that I got introduced into the first one, and when like, and everybody laughs at that scene with the swing and everything, that shit be hitting my soul because I'm gonna get into a little bit how I grew up, bro. Like I'm the only child technically. I have no brothers, no sisters. My mom only had one kid. And like, yes, I grew up among siblings around my aunt's kids and whatnot, but I didn't feel they were siblings until much later. I grew up in the same household, but this is how I became a blurred at the end of the day, because I was always an outcast. Like I quote unquote talked white, like because I played video games, I watched anime and things like that. So I felt like an outcast, and like I would always cry out for my mom when I see her on the block because yeah, my aunt was taking care of me, but my mom was never too far off. Like I would see out the window just bawling and crying, and I just had nobody to relate to, man. And like, you know, just being alone. I know that empty feeling of being alone and wanting to like succeed and working hard. Like, you know, like I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the like, you know, I wasn't gifted and things like that. My brother, you know, who's not with me here right now, he was the guy like that I looked up to. Basically my Sasuke. He was like the talented one. He gets shit in one try. Like I had to do it repetition, like the way I rap, repetition. I gotta record like 80 takes before you gonna get the verse that you heard in First Day Back. So it's just I know that sense of hard work and wanting to do well, do good, like, you know, and putting shit on your back, like, you know, putting like the village on your back, like, and people who didn't like you, like, man, people didn't like me. I was loud, I was obnoxious, I was annoying, like I was small, still small, but I'm not as small. But I was like, it's just that. But I always worked hard, man. Like I always wanted to succeed, like, you know. I was always in the back of the line. Like that's how my whole life was, bro. Like, yeah, like it's crazy because black people in America start in the back of the line regardless because of our skin color. But I had to start in the back of the line because niggas didn't fucking understand me. I didn't have none of my parents. Like I had to like I was an outcast in my own household. I couldn't relate to anybody, and that right there, I could have did so many other things. I could have became Sasuke. I could have I could have, stayed on the block. I could have, became a gang member. I could have did things that I could have took a path that my brother took. I love him to death, but there's certain decisions that we both know that he made that we wish that he could take back. And it's just that I could have went down that road. I was born in the same household. I was raised by the same parent. She did the best she could, but it was just something in me to do it different. I didn't know what it was, but I was on my way to finding what it was. And that's what I call my destiny.
Yeah, man. Oh, jeez. I just like Naruto because of the ninjutsu. I didn't know. I didn't have that deep of a story. I feel inadequate.
My soul, like when when these characters gravitate to me, like whether it's Naruto, Robin, like I watched started on Naruto over so many times, from like the emotional aspect to the animation aspect, but bro, like the relatability, like the even getting to know my mom now, it's just like I have a beautiful relationship with my mom. I can't say that 5 years ago, but my mom was like my QB. Something I had to control. Like, I was angry as a black kid coming up because I didn't have my mother. I hated her. I cursed her out so many times and stuff like that. One day we had a conversation and we was at my grandmother's house and I was meditating. I was getting into my meditation and all that. And I broke down and cried. Because in that moment, I was smoking a J. I was in the bathroom. I was meditating. And I was 23 years old. I'm 26 now. And I realized, yo, this addiction is crazy. If my mom really wanted this, it's not that she don't love me. And it's hard to accept that, but it's just like I have to accept that she might not ever get off this, and I have to spend the time I have with her now. That's my mother. I only get one of those. Like I've said hurtful things. I apologize. So what salvaged all that, bro, she didn't know either. One day I showed her the comic book that I was working on because I had one issue of my comic, which is now animation. We sat down and I showed her the drawing of herself that my roommate who I live with now, 5 years later, the pictures and the dialogue, and showed her like, yo, I'm making a story based on my life, Birth of a Hero. This is me becoming Robin. This is when I was in college with you, living with you and stuff like that. You are the reason why one of the reasons why I'm becoming Robin, because I understand, I couldn't understand what you're going through, but I want to fight crime because I can't stop your addiction, but I can stop the people out there selling it and all this other shit. So my shit has layers, bro. We can go back here and peel a psychology off way back. That's why I love Batman. Trauma is a hell of a motivator.
All right, man. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, hey, no, it's not anything. It's just I feel like I thought I'm like I don't have a deep story now. I'm trying to think, and like the saddest thing that happened to me is my dad took away my comic books, and I felt sad. That's the best I got.
Nah, it's all good, but you see, that's the beauty of this culture, bro. It does, so it influences from like you could get it economically, and like this shit saved my life, bro. At the end of the day,
no, I feel it. Can we agree though that Sakura is big trash? Can we agree?
I can't stand her. I tried to like
her. I couldn't do it. Sakura fans. I don't know why y'all exist. Like no one.
I don't know why there's a fandom.
I don't. Why? Like, okay, Sakura as a kid, fine, whatever. She's bratty, I get it. Sakura as a woman, Sasuke tried to kill her, and she didn't have
to kill her, and she lied to Naruto saying, "I love you,
bruh." Like, I'm just saying, she had one moment. There was just one moment towards the end
with Granny Chio and that shit. That's all I'll accept.
No, not even that. I'm not even that. I'm just talking about like there could have been one redeeming quality, just one moment that would have fixed everything. Like before Sasuke and Naruto are about to box at the end, right? Like the very, very last fight before the whole show closes,
Yeah.
when she like flashes that angry face, and you're thinking you have a secret hope in you that she's just gonna tell this nigga where to get off. Just one time, she's gonna tell Sasuke that, look, you sir are full of shit, and I hope Naruto smacks the taste out your mouth so that you can at least come back to your senses. I was just hoping. I was just
And,
hoping. And then she
and
just
it didn't
breaks into
happen.
the same, like, bruh. I was just like, huh, huh,
Bro, I
huh.
can't with that character. That is the
I was like, Sakura,
I've
why?
tried to like her.
I
I've
was like,
really
why? And I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, Sakura she got on my nerves, and she somehow has this fandom. And I was just like, yo, Hinata is the one. Hinata is
yeah.
waifu. I was so
That's
happy.
it.
I was so happy he got Hinata, because I was like, I can't
Like,
imagine.
don't let that thing go. No.
Hinata is white. Hinata tried to fight with Pain to save his life. If that ain't
Yo,
love,
put the yo,
if that
Nani
ain't
came in.
love.
Where would the fuck was Sakura at? Don't know. Probably healing
Sakura
somebody
was
that wasn't even
crying,
worth
bro.
healing.
Sakura was crying. She was not even getting in the mix. And
Crying calling who name? Exactly. Yo, I fucking hate her, yo.
Sakura fans, I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I don't
god.
mean to trash your character, but come on, come on. Like, yo, I can't handle Sakura, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Nah, man. That's to me, she's probably one of the worst written characters in anime history for me. And that's saying a lot because I love different ranges of anime. Like, I don't like, I know we was getting everywhere, but like if you were to ask me, like my top animes is like, yeah, Naruto is definitely up there. Like for sure, that's number one. Um, One Piece is definitely second. And that sounds crazy because I'm naming a bunch of mainstream, but the last two is gonna surprise you. My Hero Academia, um, Samurai Shampoo is fourth because like that come on, like that speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does.
And Future Diary, like
Haven't heard of this.
okay, Future Diary, and people are probably gonna go crazy if you like. There's a soundbite with this because I'm not gonna lie, I have a thing for like toxic animes. Like if it's good and toxic, I love it. And let me tell you something about Future Diary.
Okay.
It starts in high school with this boy, and like everybody has cell phones, and everybody's like, and the cell phone tells the future, past, present kind of thing, and you have to do certain things, and like, and they're kind of gory, like, and if you don't do them, you'll die. Like you'll die, and it's a game. It's a last man standing kind of game, and it's like they introduce this girl that's mad known in the community. I don't want to butcher her name, but I think it's Yuki or Yuno Gassi. And she's a girl with pink hair and whatnot, and she's like super crazy. But you don't know that until like mid into it, and it's just so crazy because she ends up helping the dude, and then at the end it's just certain twists and turns. It's like you think it's one twist, then it's another twist, then it's another twist, and it's just like this shit is so toxic, but I love
It's
it.
M. Night Shyamalanigans. That's what I call that. Twists
The
everywhere.
shenanigans. But nah, that's definitely gonna be solid fifth in my book. I
Okay,
love
Future
Future
Diary.
Diaries.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Yeah, no, anime sometimes like they always have like a lot of anime. They have that whole like very very depressing, like yo. It's like yo, like
Ain't nothing good happening. Like you watching it, like you don't expect anything good. There's no happy
like
endings.
Naruto is like one of the most like that's how I knew anime could get dark, because Naruto is like one of the most mainstream anime ever. Like it's kiddie friendly. They got toys and everything. They had a whole massacre in that anime, bro. They had
Yeah.
a whole they had whole psychological traumas. They had
Oh
whole
my god. Yeah. Like
like,
I gotta prepare my little brother because he loves it. And he started watching it, but he's only up to just Naruto learning the Rasen Shuriken, so he didn't get to pain yet.
Oh,
And it's like before that boy gets to pain, I have to sit down, have a talk with him, his mother, and be like, okay, look, this is how it's gonna go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've ever read Berserk or whatever. Like that is one of the most.
Berserk is crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like I put it down for like 6 months. I
had to put it down too.
I could do like every 6 seconds. I was like, every 6 seconds, somebody getting tortured, and Griffith need his ass kicked. Tired of this Griffith love. Griffith need to run this fade. Griffith need to get these hands. Griffith need no.
Yeah, now you know he's defending. Yeah, you're right. He's no defending.
No, I'm tired of people. Griffith ain't do nothing wrong. Excuse you? What?
The question is, what hasn't he done wrong? That's the better question.
Bruh, Guts lost a whole hand because of Griffith's whole ass. I don't want to hear nothing about this Griffith support.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that.
Yo. Nah, man. Everybody looking at what the good things Griffith done. I was like, but the people who was down for him, his homies, the people who was gonna die for him, he was just like, yeah, forget y'all. I don't care about y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.
I honestly call that. I compare him to. It's gonna be crazy. I call it the Jamie Lannister syndrome, like of Game of Thrones, because niggas forget like after like season 4 or 3, like because. Yo, like he's with this girl, he's trying to protect her and shit like that. This nigga pushed the boy out the window. He's fucking his sister, and like, oh nah, Jamie, I ain't now. Like, wait, what?
That was weird.
Like, yeah, I'm like, push this nigga out the window, end up becoming the 3-eyed Raven because it was supposed to happen, but it's just like, yo, niggas forget real quick, and that's why I call it the Jamie Lannister syndrome. It's just like Griffith, like, yo. It's the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, really. Personally, I couldn't get into Game of Thrones too much because there was too much brothers and sisters having sex, and I was just like, I can't. Just no.
Yo, yeah, I feel it. I respect it.
I was like, yeah, the blood and gore is one thing, but this whole brother and sister stuff.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Those scenes is crazy. Like, back to anime. My fault. Back to anime.
Yeah.
But those would be my top 5. You know, if I had to put that in a book, I wish I could go long, but I have extensive, catalog when it comes to animes because like a lot of people, when they first.
Let me think about my top 5 because I feel like I gotta give you a top 5 too.
Yeah, give me your top 5. Let me hear what's up.
Let me see. First off, I gotta say Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball Z Z, not Super, because Super is bull. I want to hear it. Super is bull shit.
There's gonna be. I ain't gonna say that about Dragon
Ball. Dumb is no tingly backs. That's how we get Super Saiyan out here. Backs must tingle. No. So yeah, Z. Sorry, that's a whole rant on its own. But anyway.
Z is classic, but not Super. I'm not gonna lie. I watched the first 30-40 episodes, and I was kind of mad when they took the movie and used that as episodes. That really turned me off about Dragon Ball Super. I'm not gonna lie.
For me, when Frieza came back and he became golden and had the same power as Goku after 4 months, that was when I was like, okay, now we got a problem here. And then when them Saiyans from Universe 6 came and she clocked Super Saiyan 1 and 2 in the same episode, I was like, that's it. I quit. Yeah, I'm done.
It's a lot of and that's why the Dragon Ball, like, and that's why I would never judge it because I'm like, look, it doesn't have the best writing, but it is an undeniable classic.
And Dragon Ball Z is just it was my port into all of this stuff. I love Dragon Ball Z. I love Z to death, especially Funimation. Mm-hmm. And not the Japanese version. I love the Funimation version. Like that Bruce Falcon track when them tracks drop and you just hear ding,
the original.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it's the Bruce Falcon and stuff, but that's my shit. I love that stuff. And then
Okay.
second is gonna be Naruto, definitely, because Naruto just left a
Mm-hmm.
huge imprint. I still rewatch Naruto to this day. Some of the fillers are
Same.
even cool. Some of the fillers are
I
ridiculous
go through the
though.
fillers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
some of the fillers are ridiculous though, because it's literally sometimes the same episode from a different angle. It's like, I know what y'all are doing. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
But Naruto, just I can rewatch that to this day. Like I can sit down and
Mm-hmm.
literally just have a whole day of jamming and Naruto. Like one of my dream things is like I'm single right now, but I want to get a girl that's into Naruto and we just watch Naruto the
Mm-hmm.
entire day. That's just a fantasy of mine. That's how
Yo,
much I love.
that's a great fantasy. Yo, dude, that ended right off after you throwing cosplay in.
Uh,
Oh man. Yo, I'm
yeah.
telling you, bro. Like, yo, it's for the culture, bro. It's for the culture,
Yeah.
man.
All
Like,
right, and then well, my third one I gotta say is Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho, I
classic.
really love Yu Yu Hakusho. I really love Yu Yu Hakusho a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
then number four is gonna be a tough spot because I'm thinking it's a toss up between I want to say One Piece and My Hero Academia because I really love My Hero
Yeah.
Academia right now. My problem with One Piece is that it's long. It's long.
I love it though.
It's so long.
Believe it or not, I started One Piece over. This is my sixth time. Like,
Yo,
and I'm
hey,
talking
more
from one to like
nine
I'm almost
hundred.
that big. I'm almost that Big Mom arc. So we're gonna say the high eights.
Yeah.
And the story is great, man. I love
No,
Oda's
I still love the
fucking
story.
great.
Like I still think it's fantastic. But I'm just like, yo, when we get into the point where he becomes the pirate king, like,
Oh,
but
that ain't
I
never
still,
happening.
yeah. But yeah,
Nah,
I still think it's an amazing. I still think it's an amazing thing. But just My Hero Academia's opening was so powerful. I really loved like
strong start.
that first season was really good. And I know a lot of people have criticisms for the third season and fourth season and stuff. And a lot of the criticisms that get leveled at Deku, I think they're kind of weak because I feel like, look, it's because he's a normal character. I think people are used to normal characters in anime. Like everybody's got to be
Yeah.
crazy or have this crazy traumatic background, or
Yeah.
you can't just be a kid who wanted to be a superhero, like a lot of
And
us.
and then like and again, as much as I told you about all the shit that I've went through, there's a sense of relatability of Deku, and that's why he's like, I'll hold him strong in my heart. I'm not gonna say just as crazy as Naruto, but it's enough to make me want to like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna cosplay him. You know what? Like, you know, I do see a lot of myself in him. Like, yeah, I can say be loud and stuff like that too, but like, I remember times in school being shy, talking to girls, you know, but also wanting to be the best. And like, you know, I do remember those things. And it's just that, like, again, it's like you said, everybody had to have a crazy background. Sometimes, like
You can be
I just
normal,
like the
like
character. Yeah,
you
you could be normal.
it's
You could just
okay.
want to help people.
Yeah,
Crazy, I know, right?
like, geez, I don't understand why that's a foreign concept. Like, he just wants to help me. What's his angle? Bruh.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's insane.
And then number five spot at the moment right now, because I got a lot of anime that I really love. Like, I love Samurai Champloo and I love Afro Samurai. Afro Samurai is really
Love
dope.
them.
But Afro Samurai is
Yeah.
a dick. Like, let's just
Oh yeah.
like, he's
Super.
not a
Like
nice
it's an
dude. He's not a
asshole.
nice dude.
Not at all. I mean, seeing his father on the head, like,
No, but I
it's
mean,
just like
Afro did
it
that
do
to
some
how
things to
many kids though? Afro did that to how many kids though? Like, like that. Like, come on, fam, chill. But anyway, number five right now, I have to give it to One Punch Man. One Punch Man, I'm
uh-uh.
really digging One Punch Man. Like the whole
Let me ask you a
satire.
question.
Yeah,
Have you watched season 2?
I did.
Really? And you
Yeah.
still feel like, oh, I gotta hit you
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
man.
yeah. No, I think they dropped the ball with the animation a lot, but because I'm such a huge fan of the property, this where it picks up and shines in those little moments that it does. Really love Garrow and that character and all of that stuff. Yeah, man, I'm a huge One Punch Man fan because also I love that it has a deeper message there. Like a lot of people see it as satire, but there is like layers behind that stuff that need to be explored, which I hope they do
Okay.
explore in like later seasons and stuff or episodes or even manga or whatever because I'm still reading the manga. But yeah,
Nice.
I definitely rock with some One Punch Man, you know. But yeah, so that's gonna be my top five for now. I
That's
can't
a nice top
yeah.
five.
Yeah. I can't think of the other ones right now because I also have a long catalog of anime in my head because I'm a huge anime fan. Like currently right
Yeah.
now I'm watching God of High School, which is really good. Like if
I've heard of that. I gotta
yeah,
get into God of High
yeah,
School.
I did a review on this channel or whatever. Reviewed all 12 episodes, non-spoiler. So if anybody wants to just go check out what's going on with that. But
I'll definitely take a look at it.
yeah, but I would definitely say if you into, especially if you into Naruto's and all of that stuff, and you into fighting animes, it's one of the really good ones, really good new ones.
Okay.
So definitely go give that a watch, and I think you'll have a good time, man. I think you'll have a good time.
That
So
sounds good.
yeah, man, we've actually gone. I think we done an hour and a half, or maybe an hour
Ooh.
45, which
Yeah, man, it was great combo, man.
I'm still happy about that. I'm not mad at that at all. I would take this for 3 hours if I could take it for 3 hours, but I probably
Nah, I hear that.
got a lot of editing and stuff to do. But I really want to link up with you on some stuff, and hopefully when I'm down there in New York, like you know, you be the
Yo.
first person I visit, man.
Oh yeah, please. Yo, you're welcome here. Like I said, I personally, just got my crib about a year ago. This is year two. So me and my boys hooking it up. I'm gonna try to link you with my boy Kevin Rosario Art because he's into this culture too. So I think you'll really like him. But yeah, whenever you like, yo, for real, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, bro. Whenever you have a chance to come to America and you touch down in New York and you need somewhere to chill, a place to stay, you need to cut some hotel fees to save some money, yo, pull up. Yo, pull up, we'll talk, we'll chill, we do what we do. And then, I can show you around New York on whatever you decide to do. So, like, that
Likewise, bruh.
invitation is open for
Likewise.
you.
Likewise. If you ever want to touch down here in Jersey, we got space. We got space, definitely.
That sound great, bro. That
And
sound great.
I'll show you all the spots that I know and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Please,
I
yeah.
definitely would love to take you on a tour of the motherland, as they say.
Yes, take me a tour of my motherland. Yeah, bro, for real. That'd be fire, for real.
All right. So, is there anything you want to leave Meisterville with before we close this call out? Is there anything you want to last words or whatever?
Bro, I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you for having me. I'm so glad I reached out. I'm glad that you responded. I'm definitely going to try to get you people, within the culture that I know, so you can help, help your brand or whatnot. And also, I want to say just a couple things that's coming to me. I got a music video for First Day coming back soon. That's why I didn't come out, with any other music is late, and people, whoever wondering why I didn't come out with music as of late. I have an animated teaser for my series that's gonna come out sometime this year. And I plan to end this year with a bang, 2020, to show my capabilities of the things that I do. So again, yo, thank you for having me, man. I really do appreciate
Fudge, sticking to your name, coming in the clutch at the end of the year. I
it.
love it. I love it. I love it, man. Yeah. And I want to say, do you have a book for your animated series? Because I'd like to buy that if you've got that.
All right, so I'll tell you what, real quick. Let's make a long story short. I did a first con back in 2017. And I did like before this comic, because it was supposed to be comic animation, but then
Okay.
I switched to just animation. But I do
Okay.
have copies of, I guess you could say, of issue 0 of the
Yeah.
that was supposed to come out. So what I'll do is inbox me your address and I'll ship you that. So on the house, don't worry about it. I got some copies and stuff like that, and I also send you a shirt of the Clutch Boy Wonder shit.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Of
much.
course, man. Of course.
Ah, man, you were, yeah. This has just been fantastic. You've been a perfect guest, and you dropped a lot of gems and everything. You told us your story, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's in the future for Clutch Boy Wonder, and hopefully him and Captain Superhero Rama get to work on a track one day.
I mean, we talking behind the scenes. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
like,
But yeah, man, with all of that being said, we got to close this call out. So thank you all, Meisterville, for getting to this, watching through this and everything. And me and Clutch Boy Wonder will see you in other videos. Remember to follow him on all of his social medias. They will be in the
yes,
description down
sir.
below. But yeah, we will see you in other videos because Meister Man and Clutch Boy Wonder got to be out. All right? Peace, peace, peace,
Yes, sir.
peace.
Peace.